Hello and welcome to the new devlog of my Plant Shop Manager game. Have you ever added an element to your game or project that just made you think, damn, the project just stepped up to the next level? This is how I felt when I added the element I'm going to present to you in this episode to my game. Before that though, I started the 2 weeks by adding the palm tree that I had modeled for the last episode. Adding the palm tree was pretty straightforward since I had previously done it for the peace lily, so I will not go too much into details when it comes to the logic, but I just wanted to show you the icon making process which you are seeing right now on your screen and the end results of the plant in-game. Now that this is out of the way, let's talk about the element I was so excited about in the introduction of this video. Something that has been on my mind since starting to work on the game was how to show some information related to the plant in an interesting way. I did not want the player to have to remember how much water was added to the plant or how was the quality of the soil, so I started questioning myself to understand what I really wanted. I decided to keep the same philosophy as for the rest of my UI elements so far, something easy to understand visually without text. My first idea was to make it so that every time you click on the plant, a piece of UI appears on the screen with all the information. A bit like what you're seeing now on your screen from my beautiful sketches, but I thought the idea was too similar to the seed planting UI element that we worked on in the previous episode, which felt a bit boring. I wanted to add some fluff and feel to this new element, so I opted for a bit of camera movement. For the camera movement, the idea was to make the camera zoom towards the plant upon a plant being selected. For that, the logic is fairly simple. The camera has a base position and a target position. When clicking on a plant, the target position is updated according to the plant position, so that the camera knows where to go. From there, I just need to twin the camera position and also its rotation, and with a little bit of fiddling, it ended up working fairly well. After that, once the plant selection is cancelled, the camera just needs to return to its base position. And voila, the camera movement was working. It was time to work on the look for this new piece of UI. For the look of the UI element, I wanted something original and not yet another basic window. At first, I thought about two possible styles for this new window. The first one was a clipboard, and the second one was a book. Considering that I felt like the book had been done too many times already, I opted for the clipboard. So I started drawing the clipboard on Photoshop. Since I thought that creating a clipboard UI element for each of the possible plants was inefficient, I wanted the information to update every time a new plant would be selected with the information. At this point, the information I wanted for this piece of UI was fairly simple. A picture of the plant, the common name of the plant, and finally, the Latin name for said plant. This was the part of the UI that would contain the non-gameplay related information. For the gameplay related information, I wanted the clipboard to show the water level, the soil quality, and the lighting situation, which is what I proceeded on doing from then on. For the water level and the soil quality, I proceeded on creating an icon and a gauge for each. Those would be used alongside an arrow to show the status of the pot to the player. For the lighting, I just opted for two small icons that would turn on and off according to the situation. Since clicking on the plant would allow us to retrieve all the information for said plant, the logic was really straightforward. Just update the information every time a new plant is clicked on. I mean, after having resetted the information, obviously. After some more debugging that I will not be telling you in detail because it was boring as hell, all the UI information was showing up as intended. The last bit of UI element that I wanted to add to the clipboard was a set of 3 buttons. The first button I wanted to add was a return button to go back from the clipboard view to the overall view. The second was the button to water the plants. At first I wanted plant watering to be done by clicking on the scene's watering can. But after a bit of playing around, I noticed that the way it was previously done was not working as good as I thought. First, it was hard to notice how much water was being added to the plant, and second, it was annoying to water the plant and then have to open the clipboard view to see the water level. This is why watering the plants will from now on be directly done through the clipboard view by pressing the watering button. And the third button was just a soil nutrient product to boost the soil quality. Just pressing this button would raise soil quality. The only specific part is that the product needs to be bought in the store, which is a system I plan on implementing later on. With the buttons added and working, the clipboard plant information UI is now done. I might in the future improve on the way the button and the UI looks, but for now I will keep it like that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. For our new plant model this week, since I am still missing a small direct sunlight plant, I have decided to look for one of those, and I have to admit, if we don't take into account cactuses, that there isn't as many choices as I thought there would be. From my research, I found a small plant called the jade plant, or Crassula argentea, which is a plant with fleshy leaves that is part of the succulent family. Normally I would keep succulents for the second growing room, which will be a dry plant growing rooms for things like cactuses, for example. But contrary to cactuses, this plant still likes to be kept moist, otherwise it could start shedding its leaves, making it a good choice for a small, bright, direct sunlight plant in the normal growing room. And this is what I've done for the past 2 weeks. I hope with this new piece of UI that the different growing mechanics and conditions are a bit more clear for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Feel free to give me your opinion on the game and its improvements. If you are interested in the game or want to know more about the process of making a game, please subscribe with the bell to get notified whenever the next video will come out. I will see you in 2 weeks for the next video. Ciao, bye bye.